that are out there right now. Joining me now is Kyle Dreyfuss-Wells. She is the manager of watershed programs at Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District. Kyle, how are you?
I'm fine. Thanks for having me.
So talk to me a little bit about the fact that Great Lakes Week is in Cleveland, right along Lake Erie, a very appropriate place.
It is, and we're very happy to have everyone here. We love the weather. We're glad that we were able to deliver that for everyone, and we hope everyone has a great time. We have a lot of issues in Cleveland and our region that we're dealing with that all the Great Lakes cities are dealing with, so it's very appropriate for folks to be here.
So talk to me a little bit about what you expect to hear this week and what you're hoping to get out of it.
Well, I expect to hear a lot of conversation about combined sewer overflows. Almost every Great Lakes city has these legacy issues of stormwater and sanitary water, which were designed to run in the same pipe. And now we've realized that that probably wasn't a great idea, and we need to go back and fix those combined sewers. So combined sewer overflow, and then regional stormwater management, how we deal with stormwater in a creative way. So those are the two big things I'm looking for, because I'm sort of, I have two issues.
All right, so let's start talking about the CSO and the infrastructure, old infrastructure in cities all along the Great Lakes Basin. Takes a lot of money to go in and to redo those things. What is Cleveland doing? What are you doing in Ohio that you can tell us?
We're doing a really unique combination of gray infrastructure, which is the traditional pipes to try to separate stormwater from sanitary water, or if you can't separate it, to actually build these deep tunnels that hold the combined sewage until we have time to pump it into the plant and treat it. So we're doing the gray infrastructure, which is very expensive. It's a $3 billion program over 25 years. It's a lot for a region to do. So we're doing that because we have to do it given the volume of water that we have. But we're also trying to infuse green infrastructure, which are surface treatments that add value back to neighborhoods.
All right, so let's go back. Let's start about the gray infrastructure changes. So talk to me about these deep wells that you have now that you're going to start putting that water in before it can be treated.
Right, so these are deep tunnels. They're underground tunnels, 236 feet below the ground, 20 to 24 feet in diameter, holding 80 million gallons of combined sewage. I mean, this is a big infrastructure project. And we're building a total of 8 of these projects over 25 years. We've got one done. We have 7 more to go. One is in construction. Each one of those is a huge infrastructure investment that is being completely funded by the people of Northeast Ohio.
Is this the only area of the Great Lakes Basin that is doing something like that?
No, we are not alone in our tunnels. I mean, of course, we think our construction projects are the best.
Right, of course. You got to have some kind of state pride.
Right, but other folks are building tunnels. So Milwaukee has these tunnels. I think Columbus, that's not a Great Lakes city, but has some sort of deep tunnel solution. It's a very common response to combined sewer overflow because it works and it solves the problem. The problem with the tunnels is that they do one thing well, which is hold combined sewer overflow until you can treat it at the plant. They don't do other things like take advantage of vacant properties, build neighborhood amenities, which is what we're looking for with the green infrastructure.
When we talk about sewer, we don't necessarily think beauty of the Great Lakes and sewers. Those aren't usually words that we hold together in, in the same sentence. I don't. But Kyle, I have a feeling that you live this, so you're always talking about sewer and Great Lakes. Why do cities around the Great Lakes Basin have to concentrate on what their systems are to make sure that the Great Lakes stay as wonderful as they are and as clean as they can be?
Well, I think it's really important for all of us that live in the Great Lakes to realize that the Great Lakes are just a manifestation of what we do on the land. I mean, that's all it is. The quality that we see in Lake Erie is a direct result of how we live on the land.
Is there a disconnect, though? Is it very hard to get that across to people, that what they do in their neighborhoods, even if they are 80 miles away from one of the Great Lakes, actually impacts that?
I think there is, and I think it's very important for people to understand that we all live in a watershed. We all affect a certain body of water, whether it be Doane Brook or the Cuyahoga River or all of these rivers that drain to Lake Erie. And if you live upstream and you dump your motor oil or you build too close to a stream or do something else, you are directly impacting water quality, and that's your responsibility.
So what kind of, do you do any kind of educational outreach programs, or what are you working on that would maybe help educate the public about this?
We do a lot of education at the sewer district, but I think the most important thing that we do is we meet with residents and we talk about what they are doing on their property to manage their stormwater runoff. And so, you know, we're the sewer district. We do both combined sewer overflow control and stormwater management, which is how we manage the runoff from our property. So much of what I do is talking to folks about how they can manage their stormwater on their property.
How would you say that the Cleveland area and the Northeast Ohio area has done in the last 10 years in dealing with the cleanliness of Lake Erie and using that education and combining it with the new infrastructure?
Well, I mean, I think we've done a huge amount. When the sewer district was first formed in the 1970s, there was 9 billion gallons of combined sewer overflow into Lake Erie on an annual basis.
Wow.
It's amazing.
I mean, it's amazing that people are like, oh,
and
that seems okay.
Right. And we've cut that down to 4.5 billion, and we have much more to do over the next 25 years. So Cleveland has addressed this problem proactively and is trying to get ahead of it. On the stormwater side, we're quite innovative. We're just about to implement a new fee, which will help pay for some of these stormwater projects and move the region forward.
Any pushback from people who live in the area saying, well, we don't want to have to pay for this?
There's always pushback with a new fee, but I think it's the role of government to be very direct and explicit about what the fee's for and why you have to do that. And we've been able to do that with our stormwater program and also with our sanitary rates, which pay for the combined sewer overflow. No one in Cleveland likes the fact that untreated sanitary sewage goes to Lake Erie. Nobody likes that. It's not good. And so we all know that we have to fix that problem.
Do you think that Lake Erie is beginning to shed the image of basically a dirty lake?
Yeah, I mean, it should. It's a great place to go, and the fact that on a hot day you can go, on most times, you can go into Lake Erie and go for a swim is great. The issue is you can't always walk into Lake Erie and go for a swim, and that's common in most of our Great Lakes. So we have to deal with combined sewer overflow, and we have to deal with stormwater. Those two things in our region are causing decreases in water quality.
Hey, finally, Kyle, what are we teaching the next generation? Do you think we're starting to get through to the younger kids that what they're doing in terms of curriculum through our schools or different kinds of programs, that we're starting to teach them that what they do will affect our environment in the future?
Well, if the next generation is my son, he knows a catch basin from, I mean, he knows all his infrastructure. So if he's an example, I think we are. But the kids are pretty savvy on this, and they learn about soil erosion, they learn about watersheds, so we're headed in the right direction.
Kyle, thank you so much for joining us. Kyle Dreyfuss-Wells, Manager of Watershed Programs at the Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District. We really appreciate it, and enjoy the rest of Great Lakes Week.
Thank you so much.